Welcome to episode 1, where we'll discuss the power of words. So, as we know, words are very profound, and we'll share our perspective on some important words that we feel are very interesting to talk about. So, first off, I'd like to introduce you to Djazia, my partner, who's with me in helping to share our message of just being better, being happier, living a more simple life, and living a life of yoga and what yoga has to offer. Jazia is a life coach, a very natural coach. She's been coaching people all her life and her friends, just a very, very selfless person, probably the most selfless person that I've ever met. And so it's an honor to have her here with me and sharing this journey. And so I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. The message is simple. Is really it's not about who's given it, but what is the power of the message, right? And but still, people have to be aware. Why are they listening to us? Why our opinion matter, right? Why should I spend my time listening to you when I can be watching another video? Because we are going to be authentic and talking from experience. We are not going to say that this is the truth, but this is our truth, right? It's the belief system that we are in, and this is what the word look amazing and where we are. And if this is something that it makes sense to you, to your heart, then keep listening, and you'll find your power in it. And in the same time, I wanted to be very, very grateful. I'm speechless because this being right here standing next to me is really amazing. He taught me a lot. He taught me authenticity. He taught me understanding, and so many words that have so many power.
So we'll get into some words that Jazzy will present, and she'll ask some questions, and we'll just have a simple discussion about it. So can you introduce the cards and what they are and what they stand for?
Of course. These cards are the power of a word, right, when you say it. And what's amazing about it is it's empowering. This is our food for your brain. This is your mantra. This is your prayer. This is your support system that every morning you can pick 9 of it and go through them and read them and recite them. And in the same time, you can use them in your family to have a conversation with partners and lovers, right? And with kids, and really know each other. It's like a therapy session, but it's coaching session with, just understand. And we are gonna go through Colin's experiences and let you see how we can use them too, because it's important to use tools in our life, right? Colin, what do you think about the tools in life? What these tools help people?
Yeah, very powerful. Exercises, any type of practice, tools, like these cards, for example. These cards are just a bunch of words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can define your own meaning towards them, because everyone is different. Everyone is made out of different experiences, and that's what shapes us to be our own unique human being.
What is curiosity to you?
Curiosity, to me, it's just having an interest in life. It's being curious like a cat about everything that is going on around you. And I find that the most successful people, the most happiest people are the most curious, because they want to know, how can I improve? How can I be happier in my life? How can I find more joy? How can I make life easier for myself and for others? And so curiosity is really the base and the foundation of living the best life that you can have. For me, I was always curious in everything that I was presented to, and I always just wanted to learn more about that. And everything from growing up to playing sports to school, any subject that my teacher would present us for the day, I was just naturally always curious. And from there, it just the momentum kept going, and I continued to learn more and read more books, and then I got into yoga, of course, and just how to take the self to another level in understanding and joy and peace in life. So curiosity, I would say, is a really big thing for me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. They say curiosity killed the cat, but I guess wasn't meant, right? It wasn't real, because curiosity, it make us evolve. It make us go farther. Yes, there is consequences with it. This is where your curiosity should be studied, right? Collin, what do you think about that?
Exactly. Whatever you find interesting, whatever makes your heart sing, whatever you want to know more about, go and pursue it every day. Go read a book, 10 pages a day, or go watch videos, so many things online about it, YouTube. You can find anything on any subject. I would just encourage you to go out there and go after it every day, just a little by little, whatever time you can spare.
Collin, can you tell me, please, what does this word mean for you?
Create is an extremely powerful word, and I think it's something that we need more of in our society, is being more creative. And here in this country, America really promotes creativity in business. Everyone wants to create the newest product and the newest thing to buy, and it's a good thing, to a certain extent. And I think it's very healthy for we as human beings to express our creativity, because we all have a unique perspective on things. And when you're able to create, you be in touch with this higher sense, right? It's when you talk to creative people like artists and just anyone in the field of arts, dance, right?
Yes.
Like you're also a massage therapist, a master esthetician, and she just creates in her movements, in her therapies, of how she moves people's energy. Even when you paint, right? It's a very powerful thing to express and to be in the flow with this higher power, and that's the universe. That's maybe God, if you want to call it. It's a connection to source, where we can tap into this power. It just comes to us. It just naturally flows. And through self-care practices like yoga, we're able to attune ourselves more with that source. And so for me, when I started doing yoga, it allowed me to just have more energy. And with more energy, I was able to create more, and start a YouTube channel and create videos on yoga and just on other content related to yoga and self-discovery, personal development, self-care, peace, happiness, and all the above.
I cannot agree more. It's really, creativity is thinking outside of a box, and we've been taught all our life to be put inside the box, and it's good to know the box, and it's good to know outside of the box, and to have balance in life. All right, our next word to move on is This one I think a lot of people are holding on to, a lot. In my coaching, I've seen that people are holding on to this one. Then I would love to know, what is forgive mean to you?
Forgive. Wow. Forgiveness is a very essential thing in life, and it just means to let go. And that's, if you've taken my yoga classes, you've heard me many times cueing to just let go during the practice, because yoga allows you to start to just remove unwanted things from the past. We go through so many things, right, as human beings, from when we were kids to adults, and we go through a lot of traumatic things that affect us and affect our perspective on the world. And so how do we go through life without having negative experiences affect us, and only use it for the positive and not hold us back, right? So forgiveness is all about just understanding whoever might have wronged you or hurt you in the past. Try to understand maybe why they did it. Maybe they were wronged and hurt by someone else.
Yes,
right?
I agree with
and
that.
they've passed that negativity on to you. And in the yoga world, that's called karma, right? So it's energy that is passed on from one person to the next, right? Because energy is never created, nor it is ever destroyed. And so it keeps moving. So it's the wheel of karma. Whatever you present out into the world, or whatever energy that I pass on to you, that energy is going to be passed on to someone else. And then that person is going to pass it on to the next person. And at some point, it's going to make its way back to you in some form.
And an example of that?
An example of that would just be whatever I'm putting out in terms of my yoga teachings and sharing positive messages. I'm hoping to spread good karma and good energy for people. And it's just a message. It's not really about me. It's just sharing what I've learned through the practice. And the more I can share that with others, the world can be a more peaceful place in the messages that I share, in terms of just letting go, right? Being more present, being more in tune with your power and your inner wisdom, and essentially creating a community and creating whoever out there is receptive to this information, and that can really help to inspire others to do the same. And so it's just putting something out there, and hopefully that same peace and that same love that I'm sharing can come back to me as well. And that's the world that I want to live in. So I'm trying to be the change that I want to see in the world.
They say treat yourself as you want to treat your brother as you want to treat yourself.
Exactly, and that's the same thing. So forgiveness, really important. I know there's a lot of evil things out in the world that you can say that I can never forgive this person, or I can never forget it, and yeah, you will never forget it, and that's okay. But you have to be able to forgive, and that's something different from forgetting. And that's just understanding that person where they were at, like I was saying, and just having some empathy and some compassion for that person, and to know that they were in a rough time as well. And so that's why they accidentally or unconsciously shared that experience with you. And so very powerful to just let go of experiences and things, and just move on, and to create space, right? Another thing that I always talk about in yoga is to create space, to lengthen the body, to enable new things to flourish inside of you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm really hearing the word understanding is the power of forgiveness. It's really seeing that the person went through whatever, we don't know people's life. We don't know who are the people with us. We don't know even if it's our husband or our kids, because they have life separate than our. If you are with your kids at home, your kids are in school, maybe they are being bullied or anything happened to them and nobody's saying anything. And this is really a message out there for people to find self and really see that you're not the only one who you're going through something. We are all feeling it, right? And we all had to learn to forgive. By forgiving is understanding somebody else's perspective, and you can see how powerful this word is. And it's so many people hold down onto it, and they say, how can I let go, but this person hurted me? And I agree. What you said is really it's the flow, is to let things flow.
Yeah, and that's yoga really helped me to learn that, and just moving with the flow, going with the flow, right? And not holding on to things mentally, physically, material things, because it just has a tendency just to lead us into unhappiness, So
yeah, feeling not whole.
That's forgiveness.
Let's put it down. Let's not hold on to it and be done with it and understand it. The next word, I'm gonna ask you to pick it up this time.
Okay.
It's more to see what speak to him now.
Okay. So one of the words that I pulled was pause. So pause.
COVID-19, huh?
I totally agree. Is what we're living through right now with this pandemic is a big pause on the world, and it's a time to slow down. It's a time to stay at home, right? Everybody is saying stay home, stay home, stay home. So I've been enjoying staying home with my family and having more time for myself and being able to just reflect on my life and to slow down, because before this pandemic, I work about 40 hours a week as a civil engineer, and after that 3 or 4 times a week I teach yoga as well, and I go to the gym or I go to studios, and so I really was never at home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just the past couple months of just being at home, working from home, I'm so thankful that I get to do that. It just really allowed me to create more and to really do what I want to do in sharing the messages that you're hearing on this channel.
It's the result of right now, right?
Yeah.
It's what it leads us
so
to.
It's just giving me more time for myself to do my meditation, right? Be more mindful, just sit in stillness and be in silence. And that's really the only way that you can connect with your true being and your true essence, and connect with that creative energy, that healing energy. And that's what you're able to get from meditation and from just pausing in your life and pausing from certain things, and you're able to get a new perspective, right? So when I sit down and when I practice my meditation, it's like I'm entering outside of my reality and outside of this world that we all see with our eyes. And we're able to sort of, it's like we're zooming out. Like imagine yourself just kind of being drawn out of the earth, and you're seeing it from, imagine just going to the moon or something, and you're able to see Earth.
Cosmonaut, becoming a cosmonaut and having the eyes of a cosmonaut. Yeah, seeing Earth with light.
I've never heard of that word, but
it's
that sounds like an astronaut.
It's the people who go. It's people who go to the moon.
Okay, yeah, astronaut.
Cosmonaut. I guess it's in French. Forgive my French.
But yeah, no, that's a cool word, cosmonaut. Like be out in the cosmos. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be out in the cosmos.
Yes.
And you get to have an amazing view of the earth and your own little world, right? We all live in a little world of our reality.
Yeah.
You know, I go to my job, I talk to my friends, I spend time with my family in this, you know, where I live, and that's really about it. That's my own little bubble that I live in. And so when you're able to sit and pause, right? Pause, hit the pause button.
Push the button. Don't be afraid. Just push the button.
And
It's grounding.
You can see from a larger perspective. You can have a 3D look at the world, and it'll help you see things that you might have never seen, and discover things about yourself, about others, about maybe you might have insights and intuition of what you should be doing in order to reach your goal, whatever that goal is in your life. So pausing, when I think of pausing, it means sitting down, being in silence, being away, slowing down. And I've just been so thankful for this opportunity to be at home. And of course it's a very hard time in the world, that, you know, a lot of people are going through very difficult times, which I definitely feel and understand. And I just, you know, I feel thankful that we're able to just be at home and be in peace and be happy, and not have our health be compromised in any way.
Gratitude for that. How about you choose your next word?
Let's go with heal. So
It's a good one.
healing is something that we all need.
Yes.
Right? No matter who we are,
Who is speaking?
we all
Doesn't
need
matter.
healing.
Yes.
Through yoga, I learned that we all have a natural, energetic, lively state of being in our wellness. And that's how we entered this world. Growing up as children, we were naturally happy. We were naturally free.
Yes.
We were naturally energetic and curious and
Whole, complete.
And whole, yes. And so with time,
We were introduced the experience.
when negative things happen, right, for most people, even for myself, that starts to slow that down, and it starts to kind of hold you back, right? Like we were talking about with forgiveness and letting go of things. And so we're all naturally in an amazing, happy, joyful state.
Yes.
And so when we let things affect us, the world around us, stress, our jobs, our partners, relationships, that's when we need healing to restore ourselves back to our natural state. And so healing comes in all different ways. I think it's just it's a very personal thing that only you know what can really heal you and what you're attracted to.
Yes.
Right? For some people, could be just going out on a walk, or going on a vacation somewhere,
Yes.
or just going to get a massage,
Or painting.
or painting, or doing a fun activity, going out playing a sport,
talking
going
to
golfing,
someone.
or anything can be healing, right? So it's just finding what works for you. For me personally, you can probably guess what is very healing for me. Right? Well, what do you think it is?
I think meditation for you is very important, because I see him every day, every single day. I'm not joking, it is every day. And every morning he wake up and go and do meditation. And after his meditation, he does yoga. He never missed a day of yoga. If he doesn't do yoga, he'll do sculpt, or more different kind, not like power.
Yeah,
He
like
does
exercise.
other type of exercise, and he become like amazing. After he's done, he's like feeling all high from it, and he has always this smile, and his brain is always clean, saying only the most amazing things coming out of his mouth. He's like, oh, thank you for cooking, you're so beautiful. Just bringing the beauty that he's experiencing, his inner, and being authentic and spreading it outside. And this is the beauty of it. It's what I see in that. Actually, I call it tuning. It's what tune him. Then you need to find your tune. It's find your tune.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's an instrument, right?
Yeah.
Music, singing, playing,
screaming,
anything.
breaking, anything. Like even you go to like construction, break stuff, go.
For me, meditation, yoga, just moving my body. Because that allows me to just get out of my head. As an engineer, I'm a lot in my head, designing, thinking, planning, organizing, interacting, coordinating with others.
And a lot of responsibility with it.
Yeah, responsibility, math, calculations. So
it's people's life.
It's a well-needed break that I get, is just to kind of get outside of my mind and just be in with my body. And for me, that balances me, and that ultimately heals me and keeps me going every single day to have more energy and more enthusiasm and motivation, to keep going and to keep sharing the beautiful things that yoga has to share.
I agree with that, yeah. And honestly, like the healing for me was more journeys, going through a journey of discovering myself. And I learned that there is two ways to heal. There is a way where you can take a decision and shift and say, okay, this is not good for me, I'm good, it's not what I want. I don't have time enough in this life because so many people are dying, and I'm here given chance to stay alive. Then I need to make sure I put the right things in my body and learn about what is my body and who I am. And it's really, healing for me is introduction to self. It's really knowing who I am and what tuned me and what do I digest. I'm coming to experiences that we digest thought, we digest product, we digest food, we digest nutrition, right? There's a lot of things we are digesting, and this is what we are in our mind. And to find this balance, it's really healing mean. It has so many meaning, and my favorite one is really stay connected, right? Moving all the time, yoga every day, meditation every day, we're still connected because the earth is turning, everything around us is turning. And if you stop moving, it's not the pausing, right? There's a difference between the pausing and stopping, right? And if you can explain the difference between, please, would be awesome. Then the difference between two.
It's life is full of balance, right? I think that's another word that it's not really on here, but it just came to me that it's something that's very, very important to have in your life. So to keep moving, to keep your body healthy, to keep your joints lubricated, to be able to perform activities of daily living, you have to move your joints in all the many different ways that the body can move. And that's what I'm really passionate about, is finding different ways to move the body and how that can help us stay mobile all of our life. I want to be just like my grandma and be 100 years old.
Yes.
But continue to move like now. Yes. Continue to do yoga and continue to do everything I want to do in life. One day I want to build my own house.
Yes.
I want to be able to just, create things and build things with my body and be able to move and jump and climb, and I want to climb mountains, and I want to do that for as long as I'm living. I don't want to just be bedridden one day when I'm old.
Because sitting in a chair 24 hours 7 at work.
Exactly, yeah. With my job being in front of the computer, I just get very stale, and my body gets stale. And when you don't move your body, right? We all heard the saying, if you don't use it,
you lose it.
Exactly.
It's easy as that.
It's a very simple message, and so movement is so powerful. And so to get on the other side of the question is to pause. So the opposite of that is being in stillness. And so that's, of course, another very powerful thing that we already talked about when we had the word pause, right, in meditation, and how powerful that can be in connecting. And so through yoga, they say that you move and you do the physical asana, the physical postures that you see, right? Just all the fancy poses or, whatever. we do all of that so that we can be comfortable in our stillness, to be able to be at ease in one comfortable position on the floor, in a cross-legged position, or there's many different positions to sit and meditate. But the whole goal of the physical practice of yoga is so that we can be comfortable and sit with an upright spine, to allow energy to flow through our body and to connect with that inner source and that wisdom and our intuition.
Yes.
And to be there for an extended amount of period of time. Like I can, my personal practice every morning is for about half an hour. I'm just sitting and I'm doing my own practices, breathing,
Yes.
Pranayama, and just other focus practices, concentration. And I'm able to do that without my body being a burden to me. Nothing is sore. I'm not having to feel that my back is aching or my hips or my legs are aching because I'm sitting in a position for too long. But through yoga, it really works you out and it gets you loose and allows energy to flow, so that when I am sitting, I can just be at peace and I can truly connect and not have my body get in the way of that.
Yeah, and there's something beautiful about that, because we were just having a conversation yesterday about his desk, and he was very creative on even his way to work. It doesn't mean he's going to go quit his job, but find various way how to work at home or in your office, and he created different ways to sit. And if you can talk about that, would be amazing to help people out there.
I've been, this past couple months, I've had to work from home, and I've tried all different types of places where to work, in the living room, on our smaller table, and I can kind of sit in a comfortable cross-legged seat, and have this beautiful balcony to look out from and have the sun and everything, and it's amazing. But obviously we have a family and we have kids, and it's not the most conducive place to focus, right? And so most of the week I'm in the room, sitting on a chair, just like in an office. And some days I'll actually move my things onto our dresser so that I can actually stand. And maybe 1 or 2 days I will come back. Like on Friday, I'll usually come back into the living room because I teach weekly yoga classes online for folks, and highly recommend you joining.
You're really gonna feel it. I take his classes. I really feel it. It's good. It's good feeling.
Just send us an email if you'd like to join that.
Yes. And we'll get you in.
It's so important just to move around and not be stuck in one place, like how I am when I go to work in an office. I have to sit in the same position for hours and hours, day in and day out. But it's just so good for your body to try different arrangements, whether you're standing one day, you're sitting down on a chair one day, or you're on the floor sitting on a cushion another day. Because you get to kind of stretch out different muscles, you get to prevent your body from being still, and it just comes back to that whole perspective of moving your body in different ways to allow different muscles, different tendons and ligaments to work, and you'll keep everything in your body alive.
Thank you. Yeah, this is beautiful. We need to help people out there, because we are never gonna come back the same. It's gonna be impossible. Then we have to find better ways for ourselves, for our body, for our health, for our mind. And we're gonna go to our next word. Since Collin, if you can choose your next word, please.
Next word.
Let's speak to your heart.
Let's talk about faith.
This is a good one for me.
So for me, obviously, it can mean many different things for a lot of different people.
Yes.
But for me, when I think of faith, it's just having trust and having a blind sense of intuition almost. I can almost compare it to the word of intuition, where it's knowing something without really knowing it within your physical senses.
Yes.
And so for me, that's just trusting the universe and trusting myself, that I've done my own research and studying of what I want to share with people and others, and being able to articulate that in a confident way, because I have faith in what I'm sharing, and I have an understanding that the messages I'm giving will actually help others find more peace and find more health in their life. And so it's another word I can think of is surrender. You're surrendering to this vast universe and understanding that we're just one tiny little speck of life, that we only live, maybe if we're lucky, up to 100 years. But look at time. I mean, time is endless. How many, 100 years is like a little dot, right, in when you look at the whole spectrum of time and space. And so it's just that realization of there's something much more bigger and powerful than we are, and we're just a tiny little dot, a little thing from that, which is powerful because we are from this powerful source. So therefore we are powerful, and we have a lot of influence in this world, right? Look at powerful people in the world, people that run the country, or have big businesses that are controlling a lot of how we live in our daily life.
I agree with you. Faith is really is exactly how I feel the same way. It takes you to a place where you have to trust the unknown. Every time you are hurt, every time you're down, you have to stand back and give back your heart. It's what faith means to me. It's, someone come and break your heart, and somebody come and say, hey, I'm here. And you say, okay, here, my heart is there again. Let's see what you do with it. And it's really to be open-hearted, because to have faith is to be open, to be hurt and understandable. That the hurt, it's not against you, but it's actually good for you. And it's what gives you the experience, right?
Yeah, so, and just kind of reflecting, faith is just, it's having faith in a higher power. Whatever you believe in, God or the universe, it's just having that trust in a higher power than ourselves. So this is Mimi. He came to join us as we close our discussion today on words. And so hopefully this message and our discussion was insightful for you, and just kind of just hearing a different perspective, right? You may not agree, as Djazia said in the beginning, with what we have to say, and that's totally fine. And I don't agree with everything that she might say, and she doesn't agree with me, because we all have our own perspective. But
we
going
accept
back
each
to
other.
The word that we talked about in curiosity. It's just being curious about what others have to say, and just learning from others, and just kind of putting the pieces of everything together, everything that you hear from people. How do you connect the dots and make it into your own truth, right? But it takes a level of honesty to really seek other people's opinions and life experiences, right? Because it's valuable. It's like when you read a book of someone that shares their whole life experience of 50 years doing a particular thing, that's very insightful. I can learn something that took someone 50 years to learn within an hour of reading their book, right? Or listening to their video or anything, or their documentary, right? And so continue to seek knowledge, be a curious cat,
Meow.
And I'm sure it'll take you where you need to go. So thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Till next time. Thank you.
This was our first episode. We'll be sharing more episodes in the future. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video so that YouTube can show others more if you enjoy this content. We already did that.
Yeah, truth, yes. Yeah, but we have to come back to the one we did because
No, we don't. I'm gonna cut that in already.
creative. Okay. Okay, and
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna go.
we'll cut that.
Why we cut it? Why?
No, we just cut.
We'll come back, Colin.
Oh, thank you, Jazia.
He's very polite. His mom really taught him to say thank you a lot. Yeah, how about every time you touch my things, I turn. Like if you do that, I'll turn like this. If you do that, I'll turn like that. So I know how to turn. Okay, let's do a code.